Welcome back to the game. Now, the buzz about the NBA Finals has not stopped, so why should we? Of course, it won't be a Jelovito guesting if we didn't have him chuck out some hot takes. So, what a Mr. Hot Take takes. We're gonna find out. What do you have for the Eastern Conference Finals? Kasi hindi pa tapos.
Yes.
Hindi pa
Spicy
tapos.
beats.
Oh
You
my
like that? Or no?
goodness.
It's still Mr. Hot Takes.
Mr. Hot Takes.
No.
Mr. Hot Takes.
Why are you trying to change things? Don't change things that work. All right, so first of all, the question is, Boston-Miami, will it extend to a Game 7? Jello.
Ooh.
It will
Oh, okay.
go to a Game 7.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bakit?
You know, based on the losses nito ni Miami, I've seen a trend eh. Parang ang baba ng production nila Jimmy Butler, nila, yun yan, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, wala pa si Tyler Hero. So, I really think that this is the perfect time for Boston to take advantage of that. Kasi, again, the level of play ngayon ng Miami is kind of dipping down. Nafe-feel ko na magdi-dip down. But again, knowing Miami and knowing Coach Eric Spoelstra, baka mailusot pa.
Wow.
Grabe.
Game 7.
Game
from
7.
3-0, so 3 straight from the Heat, then 3 straight from the Celtics.
So can I just, I want to emphasize this first. That sa script namin, we don't have the answers. I don't
Yeah,
have the
I know
answers at least of Jelovito.
Genuine reactions right
So
here.
we'll see. So he says it's going to be a Game 7.
All right,
Oh
so
my goodness.
Gels, I don't think this is going to be a hot take, but it's about the Heat, so it can be a hot take. Why are the Heat losing by such a big margin, Gels?
Again, when things are going tough for Boston, dyan nagsistep up talaga maganda sila. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Again, Derrick White, hindi nga natin expect Derrick White would put up those numbers.
Right.
And I really think na if they stay consistent with that kind of play, when they start hitting those shots, when they stay aggressive on defense, and maging leader ulit si Marcus Smart and si Al Horford, I really think na aabot talaga to ng Game 7.
All right. So with that in mind, okay, there is a question, and that is this the start of a Boston comeback na at the end of the day mananalo sila in 7 games according to you? Or is Miami finally going to put this away? Kasi it's in 7 games pa rin. In other words, who will win the series?
For me, I think even though Boston is playing well right now, I think Miami will take it.
So still no team in history will come back from a 3-0
After,
deficit,
yes.
and that's from Mr. Hot Takes himself. But
I don't know how hot that take is now that I think about it.
right. I
Oh.
think the Celtics one is a hotter take, but we have to let Jello explain.
Yeah.
Because Game 7 will be home court of the Boston Celtics.
Exactly.
And they have done that previously
Yeah.
to close out in Game 7. They've played tremendously
Yeah.
in Game 7s, the playoffs. Why do you think, though, that Miami will still win on the road in the Game 7?
For me, if you're gonna talk about winning on the road, I really think na Miami has more experience. I mean, looking at their lineup and looking how there are times Eric Spoelstra outcoached si Mazzulla, and makikita mo talaga sa Boston na kulang pa eh.
Yeah.
Probably, siguro mag-iiba yan if it was Imi Udoka or Brad Stevens really propelling this team on the sidelines. Pero, I mean, I don't feel na may experience si Joe Mazzulla na to propel this team hanggang NBA Finals.
Well, okay, Gels, before we talk about...
Let's not talk about the last question
Right.
first. We have a lot of
We're
time
not
to
gonna
go
talk
through.
about the last question first. So you're saying that Miami will face the Denver Nuggets in the finals. First of all, your general thoughts on this matchup. Are they the better matchup for Denver compared to Boston?
For me, yes. Kasi unang-una sa lahat, kanino mo ima-matchup sa Boston si Nikola Jokic? Al Horford? I think it's a better matchup if you put Bam Adebayo against the former MVP.
How about the wings? Medyo maliit yung
I think sa wings, yes, magkakaroon ng disadvantage lang ng konti because Denver has Jamal Murray at the point. I mean, going up against a much older but experienced Kyle Lowry, and then Caleb Martin go up against MPJ and all those shooters of Denver. But again, nag-iiba talaga ang complexion ng lahat come NBA Finals eh. So, hindi mo talaga masabi ngayon. But I wanna see a Denver-Miami matchup in the finals.
I know you want to see it, but let's assume that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, yung shooting rate ni Jello Vito is actually pretty high on this show.
He has been an efficient shooter though on and off the court.
I don't like to admit it, but he has. But Jello,
Yeah.
sabihin natin that the Boston Celtics make it
Yeah.
through. You say that they are not as good as a matchup because of especially Al Horford against Nikola Jokic, all right? But then I'd argue that the wings and the guard situation
Offensively, especially.
kind of favors Boston more compared to Denver. Doesn't that make them a better matchup?
Well, I think at that aspect, yes. But if you're gonna look at Denver as a whole, parang na silang well-oiled machine eh, na you have Jokic facilitating everything and your second best guy is averaging in the previous series almost close to 35 points in Jamal Murray. And Michael Porter Jr., nakikita nyo na he's become an all-around player for Denver right now. In their last game, he scored, I think he made almost a triple-double.
Yeah.
So, parang for me, Denver is a much complete team, so they can make adjustments kahit sabihin natin mas may advantage sa matchups on the wings and the guards.
Oh, before we go to the hottest of the hot takes, I just wanna pick Jello Vito's brain since
Yeah.
he's now a strength and conditioning coach. Can you
Naikot mo
please
pa dun,
explain the mile-high Denver Nuggets?
Oh.
Every time teams play there,
Yeah.
they're more exhausted. I mean, the coaches have been saying that as well.
Yeah, for me, there's always an advantage for Denver kasi, again, high altitude. They've been training there for the entire season. And the disadvantage naman for other teams is that they need to take time to acclimatize or masanay dun sa altitude ng Denver. So, again, if you're Boston or Miami, lalo na Miami is a very tropical state, city, diba? So, it will take some kind of adjustment in the part of Miami and even Boston. So, it's up for the strength
How would you
coaches.
describe Boston?
Siyempre, mas Denver, mas malamig pa rin sa Denver, di ba? Come on. Alam ko, malamig sa Boston, but Denver pa rin. But again, it's up to the medical team and the sports performance team of both teams to find ways to match up with them.
Spoken like a true SNC, but
Yes.
we're not done with your hottest take. Overall, who will win the NBA championship?
That's how you end the
Oh,
show.
para maiba lang, I would go with the Denver Nuggets this season.
Ooh, so the number 1 seed in the West will win. Against, as you mentioned, the number 8 seed in the East.
Oh, the Miami Heat. You see, you sweep the Lakers. Look, everyone thinks you're gonna win. And you take a look at, let's say, Denver against Miami. In how many games?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think,
And this is on the spot right here.
Yeah. Kasi we have time eh.
yeah, I think I would go 4-2 Denver.
Denver in 6.
Denver in
in 6.
6.
Now
Ladies
we
and
have to-
gentlemen, Mr. Hot Takes.
We're gonna take a look at that after,
Oh
all
yeah,
this.
100%.
things
Kung
happen.
tama siya, then Lasal probably has a good one. A good season up ahead.